Hello everyone, I'm Denise Love, and I have been on a color palette kick lately, and today I randomly pulled a color palette out of the color cube, just a blind pull to see what can we challenge ourselves with today. And today it was a crazy palette. I wasn't sure, I doubted the whole time. I doubted it right up until I cut them up, and then I'm like, oh, look how these turned out. So this was a super fun painting day. Sometimes you look at color palettes and you instantly know what you're gonna do, and sometimes you look at it and you think, I don't know what I'm gonna do or what I'm gonna get. Today was a I don't know what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna get kind of day, but look at what we got. Super fun. So let's get started and I'll show you how I did these. I'm obsessed with doing these little color palette challenges now because I personally like how it stretches me and gets me outside of my own head and my own comfort zone and gives me something new to experiment and play with. And I decided on an easy way to figure out what ones that I've already done, and that is to maybe punch a hole in the top corner with a hole punch. I've got a little fancy hole punch here, but any hole punch is fine. And that way, I haven't ruined the whole card and color palette, but I know that I've already done this one as part of my let's do every single card in the deck kind of challenge. And then if I put that one in the back, I'll know that I've worked my way through those. And that's kind of something you want to decide early on before you even get through these. I'm gonna randomly pick one here. Before you even get like going through these and you know what you're doing, that's a way to kind of keep up with it. Because if I filed all these back where they go, I just don't think that it's going to be easy when I'm 400 into it, finding those last 100. Okay, whatever this is. Oh, well, that was a surprise. Okay, we're just gonna, whatever it is, we're just gonna do it. Don't even question it. All right, so we've got our color palette. I'm gonna do one of those cut up pieces of art today because that's what I'm feeling like. And I'm using this Condi handmade cotton watercolor paper because it's a fun size and it was not very expensive for this great big thing of paper, and I want to make my way through it. So I'm going to tape this paper down and not even going to worry if I've got something on it. And then I'm going to pull out, I'll look around and decide what I want to paint with, and I'm going to pull these colors out. So I'll be right back. I have pulled out several different kinds of colors because I was really, it's my goal to get very close and to work within a color palette. Even if I don't get 100% the exact color that's there, I'm working to get within a color palette with the different supplies and stuff that maybe I have on hand without going and buying lots of other supplies, which I actually wouldn't mind, but the art store is on the other side of town, so it is a long drive. Otherwise, if I lived right next to the art store and you've seen my studio tour or anything that shows all the little unboxing of the stuff I get, can you imagine if I lived close enough to just drive to the art store every day, how much trouble I'd be in? So much trouble. So I have pulled out, we've got a burnt umber, I've pulled out raw sienna. Those are the Liquitex basics. I probably could have pulled it all out of the basics, but some of these paints I never play in. Like I never play in the fluid as much, and I really like the Blick matte colors, and so I just thought, why not? So the color on here that I actually despise is this greenish yellowy color, and so I actually got close, but in a color I less despise with this yellow orange light, and it's just a really pretty buttery color. And so I think it's beautiful with the other palette pieces that we've got here. And then we've got a super light blue, which this looks very close to, and we could even add some white to that to make it even lighter. And that's blue light. And then I pulled out a fluid acrylic in cobalt turquoise. This is the Valero collection, but it doesn't matter. I was just trying to get as close as I could without having to do tons and tons of mixing. But if mixing is your goal on the challenge, then definitely mix your colors with paints that you have on hand if you want to play in some color mixing. So I'm going to play in these colors today. I think I'm going to try for something different with my abstracts than I've done before. I've got some charcoal out over here that's got some of these colors in it. And I'm kind of feeling like, just to get it started, maybe we could use this kind of mustardy yellow, which kind of goes in there with the yellow that I've picked as my yellow. And I like these because, and I've got another set of charcoal. These are colored charcoals. And the Create a Color ones I haven't had too long, and I wanted to try those. And because I also have the Derwent charcoal, which this is the perfect time to play. There is a fun yellow on this, and we could just come over here and test out like the difference of the two charcoal brands. So the Derwent is great big chunky, very, very soft, and gets on the paper relatively easy, super soft. And I keep a microfiber cloth on my table because it's the perfect thing for getting chalk off your hands while you're working. So the Create a Color ones, which is chunky charcoal, are harder. Like, they're not as soft as that, and it's a much more defined line. I don't know how to say it. It's just much softer. So it's just kind of fun to see the differences in your art materials and give them a little try out. And then if I've got something powdery on my surface, I will usually put like a towel or something here, and instead of blow that off, I will pat that off, kind of tap it. And then you can give it a little blow, because if you're always blowing these things, it gets all over your stuff and your table. And then you start putting your hands in things and putting your hands on your art, and you're like, what did I have on my hands that just did this? And you make a big mess. Another thing I want to try before I get into the paints is look at this. Let's see how these work with water. Can I smear these around? Ho, 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 look how pretty this one smears. So this paper is a little bit repellent to the water. That's kind of interesting. It is made in India, and they size it and hand make it. See, now this one, looky here. This one spreads, and you can still see the line that you drew. This one spreads, and everything kind of spreads out with it, and you have less of the line still defined. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, so this paper is sized for paints and stuff, but it may be done a little differently than some of the paint papers that you're used to using. So it does take the water a little bit different, like it's almost repelling it. Oh, I like this side already, and I hadn't even got to what we're actually doing. Ooh, I love it. So now what I'm going to do is just randomly paint on my piece. Let me get my little palette paper over here. So I'm going to randomly paint, and then I might do some stuff on top of that, and then I might mark make. So it's all up for grabs. Let's put a little bit of this paint down, and let's just start abstract painting, mark making, just seeing what we can come up with. This is all about what feels good, some intuitive painting. It's my favorite way to paint. All right, we'll shake that up. It's been a while since I pulled these out, which is exactly why I like doing projects like this, because now this paint that I might not have opened in a couple years is getting its chance to come out. And this is high flow, so that's going to really spread out pretty good. And then I love these matte acrylic paints. Oh, I love them because they're not shiny, and I love things that are not shiny unless it's gold. If it's gold, I want it to be shiny. And then I always allow myself, is this one open? I always allow myself white, black, gold, silver. Those are always the neutral colors. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put out some clear and white gesso, and that's basically going to be my white and clear, my white paint or my clear. And I like to add these gessos in with my colors because it makes them spread differently, and it makes them matte, which I like, and it makes them kind of gritty. So when I want to put something on top of these, so that was clear and the other one was white. And I'm basically using that white as my white paint because that's kind of what white gesso is. It's white acrylic paint with grit in it. There we go. Now we got our color palette out. We are ready to paint. All right, don't lose the color card over there. And you know, we don't have to paint with a paintbrush. Like we could paint with one of these Master's Touch silicone paint things. Let's try that. Oh my goodness, did you see that? Ha! That's exactly what I just had in my mind. All right. All right, we're outside of what we would normally do, aren't we? Don't you like this little play? I want you to get your paints out and be excited and come paint with me. And don't worry about what you end up with, because when we cut this up, you're going to find something amazing in the middle of all of the stuff that you did. Okay, so that's pretty fun. Me likey. What else do we have now? Oh, you know what else we could also do? We could have like some Neocolor crayons that we could have done in this. Okay, we're just kind of keeping the options open here. What if, I'm just kind of thinking here, what if, I think that was the clear. What if I do like a background of some of these colors and then on top of that we do some stencil stuff? Oh, I'm already feeling that. That just kind of like came to me. I don't know about that. Let's get out this and try this too. Maybe I'll like it better with my calligraphy brush, because I like how the calligraphy brush is less predictable than the regular brush. Like you can't control where that's going when you paint with it the way that I'm painting with it, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that serendipitous, what are we gonna get if I do this kind of feel. Okay, what do I want to do now? Let's see, I'm kind of feeling this yummy yellow. I hate to touch my lines here, but I do want to get some other color in here. The lines were fun. I love them, I love them, I love them. If you can't be a little bit silly while you paint, are you really having any fun at all? Be silly with me. What we could do while we're going this way, is I could drag something. These are these little jelly plate drag things, but we could totally, look what that did. Oh, I love that right there. Oh. Okay, yeah, just wipe that off. All right, we'll throw that back up there. Oh my goodness. Oh, we could also take like the edge of a card and we could do some mark making with the edge of a card. Look at that. That's exactly what I wanted. Yes. Okay. You know what I pulled out that I wanted to talk to y'all about? I'm going to try to use one in this. Pieces of cardboard box. You guys, these are super cool. Like we can paint something on there and then we could like smash this into our paint for mark making, and you get some of that depending on how thick your paint is and how long you let it sit there. We could also paint this thing and mark make with it, and we could drag through stuff with it. Cardboard boxes, super fun stuff. All Alright, so those are options up there. I just wanted to throw that out there because I recently pulled that out of my stash of stuff that was apparently like hiding from me. Okay, so kind of feel like, what if we take the end of a brush, just the end of a brush, and we could drag through some paint and make some marks. Now we'll say what I have noticed, and I think I noticed this the last time I painted on this paper, it like super buckles. Like, look at all this super buckling. Okay, so I actually don't like that. So the next time I pull this paper out, I need you to say, hey, remember that's the one that buckles. And then maybe I won't pull it out again because I forgot it did this right here. Alright, so do we want to put the blue on top of this? Or do we want to do some stencil of the blue on top of this? Whoa! Because I pulled these out when I was doing another project. I kind of like the flowers. And I could strategically put flowers. And I kind of like these little cells. And I know that I love these dots. Because I could do like blue flowers and then white on top of that. Kind of feeling the flowers though. We're just going crazy here. Just say crazy. You might be thinking, no. Like, what are you thinking? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that myself. Definitely thinking that myself. Ooh, let's just do this. Okay. So my goal with the stencils is not to stencil it exact like as this square that we're seeing. So I'm gonna move it around. Oh, that's so pretty. Whoa. Okay, I like that. I'm just going to move it around and get it in there and trust. Might be too wet on some of these. And trust that when we go to cut this up, there's going to be something amazing out of here. This might be too wet. So let me dry this and I'll be right back. Okay, this crazy paper stays a little bit buckled, which I don't like. Just FYI out there, in case you were wondering. Sometimes saving a buck on your paper, kind of not worth it. All right, let's do some of this one. I like layers, and you know, I painted for a long time, not using stencils and stuff. But all of a sudden, I'm obsessed with stencils. I'm sure if we're around long enough, if you're around my channel long enough, you'll see me go through different stages of what I happen to be obsessed with at the time. And then you'll see, this paint's too wet. Then you'll see 5,000 videos on, say, that subject. Paint's way too wet. Okay. So the high flow, don't like the high flow with the scissors, with the with the stencils. But look what we could do. We could like sponge on this color as mark making. Ooh, that's totally different. Let's just throw that sponge in the water. I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I'm kind of doubting this whole thing right here. Not feeling it. I don't know. What do you think? Whoa! Okay, what if, okay, let's regroup here. What if, where's that? Let's try this. I liked this thing. Let's go back to the tool that we thought was fun. Oh, see that thin paint? Thin paint. Whoa. Yeah, let's just stop it right there anyway. That's all right. I'm going to mark make with a piece of graphite. This is the Faber-Castell 14B matte graphite because I like the matteness of it, and it's super bold because it's that 14B, which I like. And I'm going to use it as a yummy mark making piece. See, I like painting this way because even if it's like not the greatest color, you're just kind of doing now like crazy stuff because you're like, okay, I'm just throwing the towel in on this one. Who knows what we're even gonna get? Let's just go all out and be crazy. And I like things where you can just be a little crazy. Okay, so I'm kind of liking some of that. We could do other supplies on top of this. What do we want to do on top of this? I'm kind of liking this weirdo circle thing, but I think I need a thicker white paint than what I have out. So I'm going to pull the Liquitex like white paint out. Put some of that down. Thicker paint. Good, good, good. And then dry sponge. Oop. And that's how we're going to get good stencil work. That's a wet sponge. I need a dry sponge. And then, and if you are getting to the point where you're like, I don't know about this, layers are what make these pieces look so amazing. So keep on adding layers if you're, ooh, see, I like that. If you're questioning what you're getting, add more layers. Especially if it's a color palette like this that I feel like it's being a little cranky. It's a cranky color palette. That's a color palette that I'm just not, I don't know. Oh, now I am liking all these little circly things. This is, I'll try to link these stencils underneath, but this is the Crafters Workshop 807S as in stencil. And this is a flower set. I'll link these two underneath the video for us. This one is the Crafters Workshop 357S. I'm sure the flowers have a number somewhere within this little thing, but I'll link them under the video regardless. Okay, I like the white circles. That was kind of exciting. What else do we want to do? Now's the time that we could do some fun different mark making. We can do some Posca pen. We can draw with Posca markers. Look at this brown. Oh yeah, this brown is exactly that shade of whatever that color is that I picked out. It's exactly this raw sienna. So now we could kind of come in here and mark make. Or we could cut our whole piece up and then we could mark make and say, like, finish it off. Kind of like doodling and having fun before we cut it up though, because then you don't know what you're getting. And it's the kind of the finishing touches after we cut it up. But I kind of like this still not knowing stage and still going, I'm doubting this. It's crazy. I don't know. This is a good time too. If you like botanicals, like I like botanicals, this would be a good time to draw some botanical line work on your piece in, say, a black, or if you've got a color that you particularly like, you could pick out a color that you really liked and do some line work on that. I'm looking for a black Posca pen. I got lots of Posca pens, but the black is hiding. Let's just pull some of these colors out of here. Oh, this brown. Oh, I got another brown. This brown. Look at this brown. All right, let's start that one. So you could, if you liked, you know, botanical stuff, we could just do some little leaves and flowers and different stuff like that and kind of have that as an element that might shine through our finished piece or not. It really just depends. Or you could cut this up and draw botanicals on there. That's always an option. So that was super fun. can paint these if you don't have a pen. You could paint stuff like this on here. Alright, this just totally just went out to left field. Let's get our viewfinders and just see, is there anything started that we might like? So I have some of these that I've made out of watercolor paper. This is like 6 inches by 6 inches. And some of these that are just pre-cut mat boards. And I'm kind of feeling like, just check it out. This is a 5 by 7 double mat. All right, is there anything at all salvageable in here? Okay, weirdly enough, I'm kind of liking this right down here. Oh, you know what? Let's cut this. Let's take the tape off. And again, I didn't put the tape on there for any other reason than just to hold this paper in place. And you know what? Smart girls would move the paint out of the way before I got this all over everything, which I am prone to do. Yeah, I'm not even worried about tearing the edges of the paper with this because we know we're cutting it up. I don't know, unless you love your big piece as a big piece, but that really wasn't my goal. And now we can kind of look at it different directions too. So we've got some fun stuff. I do love my little orange stripies. Okay, so I'm feeling definitely this way. And I was kind of liking this right here. What would it look like? See, now I'm kind of feeling this. All right, let's just look just in case. Oh, now wait a minute. What do you think of this one? Can I get a vote out there? Yay, nay, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. What are we thinking? Oh, like right there. Okay, I'm feeling that because it's offset. It's super bold with some of the stuff going. Actually feeling like this one right here. So let's commit. Weirdly enough, I'm liking that. Okay, so got a pencil here. And I'm just going to see that paper buckles. All right, so we might not see this paper again. I may give this pad of paper to my neighbor. She's a school teacher. She can find something to do with these children in this paper. So on stuff like this that's prone to buckle, I would set this after it's dry under a heavy stack of books so that it will flatten back out. And it may flatten back out when it's super dry, but I like regular watercolor paper better because it does flatten back out as it's drying. And this seemed to stay shaped. And this paper feels weird. It feels like I painted on fabric. Like this feels like a fabric. It's different. Okay. Now that we have it cut out, I'm kind of digging it. All right, totally surprised there because I was throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it at the end. Like, let's just do whatever because I don't know about this. Okay, now that we did that, look at this one right here with this little bit of that leaf detail up there. Kind of feeling that one. So which one is the top? Oh, there we go. So I kind of feel it like right there. Let's commit. Okay, let's just do it. Let's commit to that right there. And then after you cut these out, you can keep adding details to finish it and make it really finished. Your choice there. But I do like to try to get most of my stuff done before I cut. I just like to throw everything in. I like the scraps that are coming off of this because that could be good for collage papers, and the scraps are pretty. I'm always like, my mind is changed after I start cutting stuff out and seeing the finished art. Whereas when I start with the color palette that I'm not super excited about, look at that. I like it this way better than that way. Oh, totally this way. Do you know what I like about that one? These flowers. Oh, I'm okay. I'm liking that. Different. Talk about outside our comfort zone, right? Way outside what I normally try to do. Ooh, let's see. See, I wish I hadn't put that flower there. Okay. Let's come over here. Oh, see, now I'm kind of liking that one right there because of this flower. And this coming in the side, that blue stripe. Oh, yeah, right there. Let's do the edge of the blue stripe. Whoa, totally feeling that one. Okay, where was that at exactly? Okay, because I'm cutting it a little tiny bit larger with that under mat because it'd be easy to frame in a 5x7 double mat. I get so excited when I start cutting them out. Did I just totally cut that like crooked? I think I did. Look at that. Or I drew it crooked. It's on an angle. Make sure you can see your line so you don't end up cutting the wrong thing. That would be a shame if you're like, best thing I ever created. Oops, cut it in the wrong place. Which I have done. See, these just come to life after you get them cut. Whoa, look at that. Okay, let's put that behind that mat. Let's see. Look, with that stripe coming in. Oh, yeah. There we go. Look. Oh, that one could be my favorite now. Totally. Oh, yeah. Okay. Look at that. Oh, I doubted it all the way up until the very end, actually. Okay, so this one we're just going to keep as scrap paper. I don't know that there's any other... Oh, I don't know. Look at that right there. Oh, I'm kind of loving that right there. All right, we'll use that as a future collage paper. But check that out. Holy cow. And that's what we started with. What'd you think? Did you doubt it the whole time until I cut it like I did? Did you still dislike it after we're done? Or is this like totally your jam? Because there's several color palettes I've done that people are like, that's my color palette. And I'm like, I knew there was somebody that would love this. I do love it now that they're cut out though. Oh, I love that one. Okay, I hope you had fun painting with me today. I can't wait to see some of what you guys do. Feel free to tag me on Instagram at Two Little Owls Art, or you can come join my Facebook group for art people. I'll link it below the video. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to see more fun challenges, and I'll see you next time.